Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I am a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who, The Snowmen. So this is the 2012 Christmas special where the Doctor, after losing Amy and Rory, is still coming to terms with that and is, pretty much recovering and, just living out quietly in Victorian London at Christmas time with the Paternoster gang, Vastra, Jenny and Strax, just like, keeping a watch out for him and just, letting him just letting whatever's got him down get out of his system until he encounters Clara Oswald, an East End barmaid slash nanny, and the Doctor doesn't recognise her yet because they had a previous encounter in Asylum of the Daleks where she was called Oswin and she liked to make soufflés. But then at the end the Doctor finds out who she is. She's the girl twice dead and wonders how is she in two different time zones. She's an impossible girl. Also in there we get like some evil snowmen that come from snow in space and are evil and are being operated by the Great Intelligence, in this one voiced by Ian McKellen, and they're also manipulating and controlling Dr. Simeon, played by the brilliant Richard E. Grant. And of course they plan to freeze or dominate the Earth with making ice people. And yeah, that's pretty much the essential story there. So let's get to my likes and dislikes. What did I like? Well, I love that this was a Christmas episode. This was the third Christmas special written by Stephen Moffat and starring Matt Smith. And I believe that this one, it was purely just set in the past this time, Victorian London, which I didn't mind. I think Victorian Christmas times are pretty, well, I just like the feel of them. I like the look of a Victorian Christmas. And, in this we see Matt Smith playing the Doctor, and like I said, he's still grieving over losing Amy and Rory in the previous story, The Angels Take Manhattan, after he lost them. But he also eventually, perks up and eventually, takes Clara up on board. But of course, she falls to her death after the previous nanny of the kids that she looks after came back to life as an ice person and dragged her down out of the cloud which the TARDIS was on. Yeah, the TARDIS was on a cloud. We had to go up a spiral staircase. It was a bit wacky, and I'm thinking, how did the Doctor get it up there? Speaking of the TARDIS, I like the look of the new TARDIS at that time. I like the previous look of that TARDIS, but, I guess they had a budget and they wanted to spend it and make a better looking one. Like I said, there was no wrong with the previous one. I thought it was pretty cool and nice and big, but they thought they'd make it a bit more basic again, this time just have it walk straight into the console room. So, but still, I like that TARDIS. It had like the classic console look to it on the console, but with like moderations of like the previous TARDISes in there, and it looked pretty cool. So yeah, and that was also probably a foreshadowing of Matt Smith's exit from the show, because I feel that became more like the 12th Doctor's TARDIS than the 11th, and also, a year from there he would have made his regeneration there, but that's another review for another episode. So, yeah, I like the look of the new TARDIS. I love Jenna Coleman in this, making her first proper introduction into the show, but then have her killed. I'm thinking, oh no, how is she, Doctor Who has reused actors before. I thought, Clara was playing, Jenna Coleman was playing a different, character in Asylum of the Daleks, but we find that she's the same one, and, she's twice dead, and the Doctor then needs to try and find her again to find out why. Why is she dead twice and in three different time zones? The far future Victorian London and present day London. But yeah, I liked Jenna Coleman playing like a Victorian woman, barmaid in one profession and a house, then a nanny in the other. Putting on different different London accents for that. I also loved the Paternoster Gang. Now, they briefly appeared in the episode A Good Man Goes to War, and they became reoccurring throughout the 11th Doctor era and once in the 12th Doctor. I believe that they were going to get a spin-off at one point, but that ended up not happening. However, it did happen in audio, I believe, which I've not listened to. But yeah, I love the Paternoster Gang, Madame Vastra, Jenny and Strax. Strax is funny, believing that he's always constantly in war, and it's very different to see a Sontaran in a Victorian suit. And yeah, like I say, Madame Vastra and Jenny were great in this too, the actresses who played them. And yeah, of course, Richard E. Grant. Now, people have said for ages that he would have been great as the Doctor, which he kind of did play once in an online animation for the 40th anniversary. But he was playing Dr. Simi in this, but he does just as good as the villain as well, I think. And, it just was. He was just great in this. And he did return later on in Series 7, this time as the Great Intelligence, taking his physical form. And that's another thing. We also got the return of the Great Intelligence, who I believe was in a second Doctor serial, which is Lost. And, Stephen Moffat brought them back. This time he was voiced by Ian McKellen, which at that time I had no idea that was Ian McKellen's voice. And yeah, I think, wow, Ian McKellen was in Doctor Who, and he was voicing the Great Intelligence. I gotta say, he did a great vocal performance in that as the Great Intelligence. And I thought he was just, good in that too, voicing that. But then it turns out to be Dr. Simeon's inner child voice. The Doctor even at one point dresses like Sherlock, kind of going, being reminiscent of the claws of Shang-Chi when the 4th Doctor wore a Sherlock Holmes outfit. But yeah, this was just a fun episode. It had some, good elements in there. I guess I didn't like the complications with Clara, like thinking who she was, and that we had to, wait to the series finale to find that out, and it dragged out a bit with that. And there were a few moments in there that I didn't feel were necessary and stuff, but like I say, I was hooked. I was entertained on this one. I like the Snowmen. I mean, bringing Snowmen into Doctor Who that are evil, I thought that was a good touch, and I enjoyed watching that, the Snowmen. I can't tell if they were practical or CGI, but, if they were practical or CGI, I don't care. The effects for them were good. So, yeah, this was a good Christmas special, a big improvement from the one before, The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, which I'm not a huge fan of and isn't my favourite Christmas special. But this one I feel was a great improved one. So my ratings, I will give the performances a 9, the writing an 8, the visuals an 8, and my personal, I'll give it an 8. So there you go. Those are my ratings and my review on the episode. Have you seen this one? Let me know down in the comments below if you have, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and to share with your friends. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. All my social media links are linked down below in the description, so be sure to check all that out. I've been Davros the Whovian, and this has been a Who review, so until next time, run for your life. Yes.